Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. I remember on one of my early visits to Iraq, probably in around 2016, I met with the Syriac Orthodox Bishop of Mosul, Archbishop Nicodemus. He's quite a jolly fellow, somewhat portly, with a vibrant red beard, which is not as unusual as one might think in the Middle East. Archbishop Nicodemus was distressed about the lack of attention from the West about the persecution of Christians. In fact, it was about this time that the British government decided to deny him a visitor's visa. Nicodemus told a story about a farmer in Australia, one of the Iraqi diaspora, who had to change his plans on his farm at great expense because some rare frogs were on the land that he wanted to develop. Archbishop Nicodemus said that for many in the West, frogs were more important than persecuted Christians. I'm sure he's correct. There's much talk of rights in the West, human rights obviously, but also now animal rights. Surely it can't be too long before we hear about vegetable rights. My broccoli must be respected. Animals are not human. There are no dog babies. You can't have a dog child, as Pope Francis was recently criticized for rightly observing. However, animals, even if they will become our food, might be worth pointing out to some young people that the burger they're tucking into once mooed and didn't come out of a packet. Animals must be treated with care, and cruelty to an animal is never acceptable and reveals something contemptible in the human who inflicts the cruelty. In a recent interview, the author Tom Holland, who's written a fine book on the making of the Western mind called Dominion, was asked how in a world and culture which neither understands or even knows the basic beliefs of Christianity can the gospel be proclaimed. Holland, whose excellent book, which traces the undeniable truth that all Western civilization depends on Christianity for its foundation and its continuation, answered that a good starting point would be the concept of human rights. Without giving his entire response, he pointed out that other cultures do not have the Western concept, and even Western culture, which is now denying its roots, it can't deny the basis of human rights, which are found substantially in the biblical understanding of humanity. The book of Genesis states it clearly. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. However, this is not the full story, and the inescapable contribution of Christianity, which Holland claims is the root of the Western concept of human rights. Perhaps Pope Benedict put it a little better, as he usually does. He wrote that respect for human dignity and regard for the human rights of every individual, these are the fruits of belief in the Incarnation of God. He went on, and listen to the power of this statement. Anyone who renounces belief in Jesus Christ for the sake of a supposedly higher value renounces the basis of human dignity. It's very clear today where that misguided and perhaps naive renunciation will ultimately lead. Belief in human rights and human dignity are the fruits of belief in the Incarnation. The Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. God became man, incarnated, infleshed. That's why a human, not a frog, has rights. That's why every human, from conception to natural death, has dignity. Every human made in the image of God, loved by God, and precious in his sight. Brethren, rejoice, be perfected, be comforted, be of the same mind, be at peace, and the God of peace and love will be with you.